So Simon & Chester's Super Detective is my very first graphic novel. And if you guys don't know, a graphic novel is like a big comic book. It's a longer story, and it's all told through panels and speech bubbles. And this story actually is a follow-up to a picture book I wrote and illustrated, and that's called Sir Simon Super Scare. Some of you out there may have read Sir Simon or checked them out. If not, please feel free at your local library or bookstore to have a read. But in Sir Simon, that's when we first meet our characters. We meet Simon, which is the ghost right here. He's a cheeky ghost, as you can see from the back cover. And in the story, Simon is getting to haunt his very first haunted house. And he's really excited. He's never done it before. But what he doesn't expect is that a boy and his grandma move in. And kids are really hard to haunt, so Simon's not a big fan. And that boy's name's Chester. And throughout the story, the ghost Simon and the boy Chester eventually become friends. And after we did it, we felt there were still so many things we could do with these characters, so many fun adventures they could go on. What could they do as best friends? And then we figured, well, why don't we try to do a full series? And that's how this kind of started. So Simon & Chester's Super Detectives is the very first in the series. There's another book coming out in the fall, and that's called Simon & Chester Super Sleepover. But until then, we've got Simon & Chester Super Detectives. So I figure, well, why don't I start out by maybe doing some reading? I'll read, maybe like 5 minutes worth of the book, and then after that, we can get into drawing the characters. So let's do it. All right, so let's read a little bit of Simon & Chester Super Detectives. I'm going to read about 5 minutes, and we'll see where we get. Hopefully everyone can see the pages. I know some of the panels can be pretty small, but hopefully you guys can follow along. One day, up in the attic of a house, on a street, in a town, somewhere, Mr. Mustard cut a dashing figure with his pointy mustache and fancy hat, but Dr. Darrington knew it was all an act. Simon. Darrington was about to reveal the culprit to the hotel guests when... Simon! What is it, Chester? I can't write about Dr. Darrington solving the Tiger Hotel mystery with you babbling in my ear. I'm so bored. It's raining outside. Grandma's taking a nap. You're writing. I'm going to implode from boredom. Chester, there are hundreds of things you could do. Nope. Nothing. Nada. Zilch. I don't think anyone in history has ever been as bored as I am right now. You wouldn't understand anyway. It's not like ghosts get bored. What? Do you know how boring it is haunting your grandma late at night? So very boring. Boo. Ah, it's happening, Simon. The boredom. It's eating my brains. Flop. Dead. Glad that's over. Poke. Ooh. What? Ooh, now I'm a ghost like you. Boo, boo. Chester, boo? We already know you're a terrible ghost. Go find something else to do. Boo. All right, fine. Let's see what we got up here. How about if I find something good, you'll join me? Deal? Yeah, sure. Whatever. Grandma used to work in theater. Maybe there's some cool props or costumes around. We could form a rock band with these old instruments. Hard pass. Or we could dress up as clowns and put on a show. We talked about this, Chester. No one likes clowns. How about we have to work with whatever in this box? Old smelly hat, broken clock, and a mousetrap. Obviously, that means we can be old clockmakers with a bad mouse problem. Putting in the hours, fixing clocks, catching mice. Chester, all these ideas are terrible. Who would want to do any of these things? I knew you'd come around. That hat. Forget about playing pretend. What we need to do is become detectives. What's with the mousetrap? Pretend it's a magnifying glass? I just need to find the full outfit. You'll see. I thought you didn't want to dress up. It's not dressing up, Chester. It's a uniform. Aha! Perfect! Think about it. We could be meeting all kinds of mysterious people and going on all kinds of adventures. Mysteries, secret doors, serious brooding. What am I then, like the assistant? No way, hold on. In all the detective stories and movies, the detective always has a partner. Picture it, me and you, taking names, solving cases. Do I get a uniform too? Yes? Let's do it! There's got to be some more good detective stuff around here. How about this? Ugh, we're not superheroes. Hang on, I have a better idea. Off you go. I don't know how I didn't think of this sooner. Ta-da! Taking notes, bagging clues, filing paperwork. It's perfect. Now all that's left to do is power pose. Simon? What now? And that's all I'm going to read right now from Simon & Chester Super Detectives. I hope you guys liked that sneak peek, and we'll see what kind of mystery, what kind of adventure Simon & Chester get up to in the book. And from there, how about we go and actually do some drawing? Let's do some drawing. So I'm going to show you guys how I draw Simon the Ghost. If you have paper and pencils, feel free to follow along. If you want to watch, you can just watch. If you want to draw Simon differently than I'm drawing him, feel free to draw him any way you want. There's no right or wrong way. You guys can draw him however you want to. I'm just going to show you how I draw him. When I was doing the book, I had to draw Simon a lot of times. There's so many panels in Super Detectives, and every time I had to draw Simon new. So I was always trying to think of fun new ways I could draw him, like different expressions on his face and different ways he could kind of be posed. So Simon's pretty easy to draw. He only takes a couple steps. And the first one is pretty much just like a big horseshoe shape. It's kind of his full body pretty much. So I'm going to draw him over here. I'm going to do this kind of big horseshoe. Don't worry about it if yours looks differently than mine. It doesn't matter. Again, there's totally no right or wrong way. You just kind of got to do a big kind of shape for his body, his kind of ghost floaty body. And after that, I do kind of like 3 U's that are all connected. 1, 2, and 3. And then we kind of have Simon's whole body. And after that, I like to try to do his expression, kind of his face. You know, Simon's got 2 eyes. I like to draw kind of like just the big kind of dot eyes. And then it's kind of figuring out, well, what should he be feeling? Should he be happy? Should he be mad? Should he be angry? Should he be sassy? What's Simon feeling right now? Because we can do all of that with the eyebrows, with the mouth, and try to figure out, well, okay, what is this Simon feeling? How about we'll make him super happy? Simon's really happy. I mean, he's going on a big detective adventure in the book, so let's give him kind of a big open mouth. And again, you guys can do it any way you want. I like to just kind of do this big open mouth shape and kind of do a little tongue at the bottom. But there's totally a million ways you can do it, and whatever feels right to you guys. So after that, maybe I'll do some little eyebrows above his eyes to show that he's super happy. Give him some little arms at his sides. Boop, boop. And then I just add in a little scribbly shadow at the bottom. I like to have the little shadow because it kind of shows that he's floating above the ground and kind of helps show that he's a ghost. And that's really all it takes to draw Simon. It's really just those couple steps, and then you got a Simon, and there's a million ways you could draw him after that, whether it's different expressions or have his arms doing different stuff. Let's draw another Simon over here. If we're going to do another one, I'll start with my big horseshoe shape again. And then I'll do my 3 little kind of U shapes at the bottom. Boop. And now let's see, maybe we'll do a Simon that's a little grumpy. So I'll do his eyes as little dots again. But if you want to do his eyes as the big white circles with the little dot, if you want to do his eyes however you want to do them, you can try anything with them. I'm going to do him as little dots again, but I'm going to give him kind of like a heavy eyebrow, so he looks a little grumpy already. Maybe he was just woken up early. Maybe he has to go do something or haunt something. He really doesn't want to have to go haunt. And then let's see, we'll give him like a real kind of pouty mouth down. And then I'm going to make it just a little pouty wrinkles there. Maybe his lips are kind of pulling at the bottom. And he is not in a good mood. Maybe even he's got a little steam going off his head because he's so upset right now. I'll do his little hands on his hips. Little ghost hands on ghost hips. And add his little shadow again. What we could even do is draw ourselves as ghosts too. And that's just kind of figuring out, well, what can we put on ourselves or give ourselves that'll kind of make us look like us as a ghost. Because Simon's always wearing all sorts of different stuff here and there. So if I was going to draw myself as a ghost, let's see. I'll draw myself right here. I'm going to start with the same kind of thing, but maybe I'll make myself a little bit taller because I'm kind of tall. So I'll be a little bit taller than Simon. I'll give myself some of these little ghost lumps. And then what can I give myself? I think you guys all probably can tell that I wear glasses. So giving myself glasses is probably a good idea. Then I can see. I want to be able to see as a ghost, otherwise I don't know what I'm haunting. So let's give myself some nice glasses here. Give myself some eyebrows. I'm having a good time talking to you, so I'm going to give myself a smile. And let's see, maybe a little bit thicker glasses. And since I'm drawing all the time, I'd probably give myself a pencil or a pen. As a ghost, I still want to be able to draw. And that's kind of a quick little ghost Cale. So what would you guys give yourselves if you were going to draw yourselves as a ghost? Do you have glasses like me? Maybe you have a hat that you really like to wear, or maybe a shirt or a backpack or something you could put on your ghost. So I hope you can think of something and maybe draw yourself up as a ghost, or even just make up a fun ghost. What's kind of a fun idea that you could do? It could be even a ghost combined with something. I'd like to draw, let's see, I'm going to make up a quick ghost. This ghost is going to be a classy ghost. I'm going to give him a big mustache right away. He's got a very big, thick, ghostly mustache. There's the eyes. And then maybe this ghost, let's see, also has a monocle and a little top hat, because it never hurts to give things top hats. And this ghost has a classy little cane for classy ghost floating. I call this ghost Reginald Booington. There's his little monocle chain. So you can really have a lot of fun. I love drawing Simon. I love drawing ghosts and funny expressions and trying to see what I can do. And hopefully you guys do too. I'd love to see your ghosts if you've drawn some ghosts. If you've drawn yourselves as a ghost, it'd be really cool to see. And from here, I think we're done, guys. I really had fun with you. I hope you had fun and enjoyed getting a sneak peek of Simon & Chester, Super Detectives. Next time you get a chance at your local library, bookstore, or wherever, please check out the full book. See what kind of mystery they find. Do they solve it? What's the case they take? And keep on drawing. Keep on reading. And I hope to see you guys again soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.